Good afternoon, and thanks for having us in. New this midday, New Underwood Road, just north of New Underwood, is closed for the time being. County deputies and the Highway Patrol are dealing with two semi-trucks who have jackknifed on the S-curves. Traffic is completely blocked. Officials are asking drivers to find an alternate route as fog and freezing road conditions are contributing to unsafe road conditions. Reports say that multiple vehicles are in the ditch already. The South Dakota Department of Public Safety has announced its plans for sobriety checkpoints this month. The Department of Public Safety says there will be 16 checkpoints in 15 different counties. The checkpoints will take place in several counties, including Coddington, Lincoln, Meade, Minnehaha, Pennington, and more. Officials remind drivers not to drink and drive, and regardless of whether there is a checkpoint planned in their county. Pivoting to weather, it's foggy out there, huh, Megan?
That it is, Dan. Our dense fog advisory just expired, but that does not mean the fog has gone. Right now, it is starting to lift in Sioux Falls at 29 degrees, that north wind at 11 miles an hour. But as we head around the region, we still have thick fog like in winter. 21 right now and hardly any wind. We are down to about a quarter-mile visibility in Winter and Chamberlain, around 5 miles of visibility in Sioux Falls, Mitchell, and in Rapid City, down to about 3 in Pierce. So be careful because our temperatures are just slightly below freezing. We have 28 right now in Yankton, 26 Brookings, 24 in Sisseton, 26 in Pierre, and 23 degrees in Pine Ridge. Our winds are very light right now, mainly out of the north at 5 to 15 miles an hour. They're going to stay light as we head through the rest of today and the next couple of days. Here is a look at our clouds moving through and some snow cover around the region. Nothing is coming out of those clouds yet. We're watching our chance for very light snow showers starting later on Friday night and into Saturday morning. So for today, once that fog starts lifting, we'll have mostly cloudy skies for the rest of the day with light winds. 30 are high in Sioux Falls, 26 in Aberdeen, 26 in Pierre, and 32 in Rapid City. We could see some fog redevelop overnight with these very light winds. 15 are low in Sioux Falls, 8 in Aberdeen, 15 in Pierre, and 19 in Rapid City. And tomorrow is going to be much like today, except with a light south wind now. A high near 30 again for Sioux Falls, 26 in Aberdeen, 30 in Pierre, and 35 in Rapid City. We'll keep the mostly cloudy skies around and even cloudy skies as we head into Friday, which will be slightly warmer. 34 Sioux Falls, 32 in Aberdeen, 34 in Pierre, and 42 in Rapid City. But starting Friday night into Saturday morning, we could see some very light flurries or snow showers and another chance of snow coming on Monday. We'll take a closer look at all of that in just a little bit.
Sounds good. Thank you, Megan. The local landscape is unusually brown for January. A Sioux Falls business specializing in winter sports gear is taking notice. Spoken Sport on Minnesota Avenue started selling skiing and snowboarding equipment in 2021 and thrived last year during one of the snowiest winters on record. Peter Oyen has been with Spoken Sport for 15 years, but just purchased the business in August.
Big thing I'm learning is, there's going to be ups and downs, and don't get too caught up in them. Things will be a little soft sometimes, like right now. That'll come roaring back, So be patient, trust in your staff, trust in the fact that we've got great gear and people here working to get people set up really well.
On a positive note, Peter says there's snow in the forecast, and Great Bear Ski Valley could open as soon as Friday for skiing and snowboarding. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem said former President Donald Trump should not pick fellow GOP presidential candidate Nikki Haley as his running mate. Noem was asked by a reporter if it would be a mistake if Trump chose Haley to be his vice presidential pick. She replied yes, without hesitation. Noem has previously said she would be Trump's running mate, quote, in a heartbeat. Noem is among a group of rumored candidates, including Haley, who's gone head-to-head with Trump campaigning so far. House Speaker Mike Johnson and around 50 other Republican lawmakers are visiting the southern border today to highlight the U.S. migrant crisis. It comes as crossings have dropped after reaching an all-time monthly high in December. Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
CBS News obtained exclusive access to a border facility in Eagle Pass, Texas, one of the busiest entry points in the country. It's set to reopen Thursday after being shut down for the past 2.5 weeks because officials say they did not have the manpower or resources to process the sheer number of asylum seekers who crossed the border in December.
The border is an absolute catastrophe, and this is because of the policies of this White House and this administration.
House Speaker Mike Johnson, who has long criticized the Biden administration's handling of the border crisis, is leading a large group of Republican lawmakers to Eagle Pass today. The Biden administration slammed the group, accusing them of hamstringing border security in the name of extreme partisan demands.
We have a broken immigration system that is the one single fact about which everyone agrees.
CBS News has learned the White House is open to major policy changes on asylum law in exchange for aid for Ukraine. Over the holiday break, negotiations have continued among a bipartisan group of senators trying to reach a deal on immigration.
This is very hard. We've put some really serious proposals on the table.
Meantime, major cities across the U.S. struggle with the massive influx of migrants. In downtown Denver, tents line the streets. This man says he's waiting to be taken to a shelter. Local officials say the goal is to get migrants housing, but their resources are being strained. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
A senior border official tells CBS News that he estimates in the Eagle Pass sector, smugglers are making $32 million per week off of people who pay them for illegal transit into the United States. 40% of those crossings are families, according to the Border Patrol. The release of more than 150 names mentioned in court documents from a civil case filed by one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims was postponed. The documents won't be made public until at least January 22nd. The delay comes after a judge granted a 30-day extension to a Jane Doe to consider her appeal to remain confidential. A criminal defense attorney stated that people named in the documents are unlikely to face prosecution if they haven't already.